When you put your hands around somebody's throat and squeeze, there's only one thing that's intended to do: kill.
Nobody, I don't go scratching and punching and threatening. And some of these people are put in an environment, they're victimized to where they really don't have, that they want a relationship that's peaceful.
Kill. To kill someone. That's what you're doing it for. There was no other reason to grab somebody with your hands around the neck and to squeeze. Like, you're out of here. You just disturbed this court and interrupted me by shouting something out. You can leave. You're outside. I can put you in jail for 180 days for that outburst. You are Lynn LaSalle Jr., present with your attorney, Mr. Burbank. And this is a very serious matter here. You were charged with the third-degree felony of assault on a family member, and you've pleaded guilty here earlier. A pre-sentence report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? Any corrections or changes to it?
Not from the bench, Judge.
Not from the state? Then it's made a part of the record for all purposes. A couple of things I'd like you to talk to that jump out, of course, is it's correct he would not be eligible for probation in front of a jury.
That's correct. That's
correct. And I'm looking at criminal mischief conviction. He was on deferred or unadjudicated probation for that, and that was revoked, and he picked up 16 months in the state jail. Then I'm looking at in 2008 illegal possession of marijuana. He looks like
45 days.
He was placed on probation in 2 cases, marijuana, and it says illegal possession of controlled substance, 18 months deferred, revoked, 45 days in jail. It says I'm looking at 2 different cases there. In 2006, date of offense 1/22/06, and the other 10/15/06. Possession of marijuana, illegal possession of a controlled substance. Those were packaged together, and he was put on probation, and then it was revoked, according to what I've seen. Then driving while intoxicated. In 2013, 90 days in jail, probated for 1 year. And then thereafter, family violence in 2018, and 1 year in jail, probation for that. Then it was this. Did you get your resetting? You need to come in and you can move on with your law. So now assault on a family member, but he had assault family violence earlier in 2019, along with his other stuff. And this is problematic. If y'all can answer, if you can answer to those. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, please, Court. Your Honor, when he took the plea a month and a half ago, you talked to him at length prior to taking the plea and what was going on. When he got out of the state jail the last time, he actually moved and is living in Houston to try to get away from the problem.
What's that address?
4801 Allendale Road, Houston, Texas.
Also, if I may, Judge, I'm sorry.
What's his name?
77017.
Go ahead.
Also, when he went over to Houston, he also acquired his daughter, which is probably the real problem to stop. The mother and him at best, depends on what day it is, depends on who says what, but it gets kind of, I guess, combative. And this time at the convenience store, which was the basis of this back in June of 21, There was some argument in reference to his daughter, and who mom was bringing the daughter around, but the solution to that was not to start a physical altercation, though he would readily admit to you that he does, and she can push his button, and also kind of gets to him when he really shouldn't. I think that you talked to him about that a little bit when you took the plea, because as you said to him was that the child basically is the only one that is in the middle of this, and is the, I guess, the recipient of this isn't good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is a good,
This isn't good.
is not,
No, it's not good for a child to be in the middle of two parents that can't get along. He has asked and was upfront with the probation officer when he did the PSI that he does need anger management, would take the therapy because he needs to try to keep it under control. The one thing I have heard, though his past is the telltale sign, is that he does have a job now. He has been providing for his daughter, which is young. He also is providing for his older child with a job. As I said, he has removed himself from this area, trying not to be tempted or get in trouble again. Mom has reached out to my office, though I've had limited conversations with her. I think the court or the district attorney would agree she was probably not cooperative because they had to go and chase her down to subpoena her that day. And there again, she was saying one thing to Mr. LaSalle and doing something completely opposite.
I don't understand.
She said she kept on telling him that she wasn't going to come to court, that they were working it out, and that everything was okay at the time that this came to trial.
All right. Nothing new in family assaults.
That's right.
Nothing new. But generally, it's not a product of people just like to get beaten up or choked or whatever it was in this case here. It's not that they enjoy that. That's why they call for help and then drop charges. That's not what it is. It's generally the fact that they don't feel comfortable with the way it takes so long to resolve issues. And that's just a product of, there's too many of those kinds of cases that are just working their way through the system. But I don't believe it's because they're masochistic. I think, and they're stuck with situations with family. It's a family unit that's being broken apart, which is just naturally a undesirable thing for most people, no matter how much hell they have to go through in the situation. But
And
here is a bad. This is a. Yeah, I mean, once again, when you put your hands around somebody's throat and squeeze, there's only one thing that's intended to do: kill. Kill. To kill someone. That's what you're doing it for. There is no other reason to grab somebody with your hands around the neck and to squeeze, like is it occurred in this case, according to probable cause affidavit. I can't imagine doing that to anybody. I've never done that in my life to anybody, but I can't imagine somebody I quote loved and had children with, pledged life with. So quite naturally, you want to squeeze their neck. But hey, you admit it. You've got anger issues. It's clear in here. You've got anger issues. That's what you said, unless you lied to the probation office.
And Your Honor, even with this and him pleading, he still has custody of his daughter. He is still being the primary caregiver. And I don't know what his relationship, if any, with the mom. I think he's been staying away. Oh, well, because the boy is older too, but in reference to seeing the young girl. So we asked Judge that you place him on probation. I believe it's a 3rd degree.
Yeah.
Probation could be for up to 10 years, as the court does. So deferred would not, it could be 10 over 10, or...
Can you explain, though? He received probation in 2019 for family violence, and this isn't his first rodeo in this regard.
Absolutely. And that's why
He didn't learn much, apparently.
Well, and that's why, Judge, I told you that the chemistry between mother and father has come to this predicament, and that's the reason why he left and went to Houston to get away from it.
Well, I guess that's why somebody invented divorce court. But there's a way of handling that, if you can't work your problems out, there is a way of handling it in a method that's not strangulation.
They weren't married, Judge, and no one ever brought up the custody matter in court to try to get some orders and try to get some relief.
You got a child, right? Together.
No.
You're out of here. You just disturbed this court and interrupted me by shouting something out. You can leave. You're outside. I can put you in jail for 180 days for that outburst. You can't control your emotions any better than that. I'm sorry, but you can't be interrupting the court with outbursts. Are they part of this? You don't even know them?
I think that was just
Was that a medical issue?
I don't know what that was, but
Dennis, find out if that's a medical issue that we need to attend to, because you just can't blurt things out like that incoherently. I didn't understand. It was a loud noise. Go ahead. Where were you? Go ahead. Anyway, the point I was making about was the children. The children see them. You don't think they're harmed forever?
And that's the whole problem, Judge, is that it's this child that was put in the middle of something that she shouldn't have put in the middle of. And if you have any questions of Mr. LaSalle, Judge.
No, I think the pre-sentence report is well written. What does state say?
problem we got with all this argument is the criminal mischief he was on probation for 2014 involved yet another woman. When he smashed up her car, yeah.
It's just not being.
And the way he treated the mother of his child this time by dragging her around by the hair, strangling her in the car, hitting her, pushing her around, doing everything out there in a public place. I don't think he needs to be out and around in the public. He needs to be locked up because he's been given chance after chance, and he seems to mess up on his probations since back in 2008 when he had probation, 2015 when he got probation. He's been revoked. He just doesn't get the rules, and evidently he knows he has an anger problem but doesn't do anything about it. And I just don't see anything really worth giving him probation out of the way he treats people and the way his criminal history is. So we'd ask for the 5 years.
Your Honor, that whole incident